abuse of power.
You want 30 opposition here? Catch up. We will discipline. Who your son? Who your son? Who son? And you will discipline. Why you so angry like this? Oh, but he take a politician now. Oh yeah, you take a politician and you can discipline people. And do we live for him? Okay, so do we live for him? Who live for him? I'm trying to get Yami basic. Who live for him? If I got discipline in China, do we know that boys for him to discipline? Do you know that small boy for him to discipline? If I take that statement, but we a children now, let him discipline a children now, and we live for him. La lepo talk. I said la lepo talk. Look, let me tell you something. If you have somebody that do not have moral, you know me asking me who not get moral. No, yeah. When you have somebody that do not have moral standing to position, and that was wrote or impeachment bill. Look, I don't care what Yami say do, he will be impeached. He will be impeached with a higher disgrace.
Who do you think have no moral?
Yami say
he has no moral.
He have no moral.
Why?
Because he's corrupt.
He's corrupt?
Yes.
Do you have evidence?
Let me take me the quote. Is it the quote? No, poverty was harassed. Look, Seku, the freedom of speech got two parts. They have the opinion speech, they have the insultive speech, which the Lebron can call curse. They have the cursing speech. All of that was decriminalized. If you say a Seku fee that my statement was directed to him, and injure him, let him go sue me for damage. Yami Gbese should go and sue for damages.
You think Yami Gbese is corrupt?
He is corrupt.
How is he corrupt?
The fact that he took his son and appointed his son as a magistrate is against the code of conduct.
Is that enough to classify?
I don't want to say he corrupt. Let him go sue me. When Yami Gbese sue me, he will say that so. I said that so. Go through the case.
No, but he did not do it in the Prophet Key case.
Because Prophet Key were abused. That abuse of power.
Be applied to you.
It can never challenge him. I mean, second time of boy, you speaking to men. The man sat down here. That man that do not have moral. That Yami Gbese that do not have moral sat down here. The men of ruling that the setting of Reteku and the people were illegal. Somebody sat down there and called him donor. What did he do? Because he wanted to be chief justice, did he do anything? He accepted that he drunk. Prophet Key, Yami Gbese sat down here. A Prophet Key said he corrupt. He didn't go for anything.
But no. Is it that he has a property or hotel in Nimsa?
Yes. I put it on my page. There was that bar association can go. They're not conflict of interest. Conflict of interest is corruption under the law. You say, Seku, what wrong with you? You say that here. You know, when you talk to veteran lawyers, counselors, they will tell you, say, my man, you know, our case is before. Yami will say, all that are pressing, they didn't mean well for you. Let me tell you the truth today. They will tell you behind the scenes, say, look, what they may do.
Yami will go after you, and it could be a serious problem for you because he has threatened to do
what you can do
exactly using a code.
What you can do?
You know,
what you can do? No contempt of court. You know, the future and saw Rachel Kun. Oh, we have to describe what's the penalty. You saw it, right? They want to describe what's the penalty of contempt of court. We get the authority to prescribe penalty for contempt of court. What is contempt of court? When the court is in session.
But the house has become very useless.
Yeah, we have become an embarrassment to the Liberian people. We have become an embarrassment. The law says, contempt of court is when the court is in session. I go there while the judge is proceeding. I go and disrupt. That's contempt of court. The court.
Tomorrow, we can say one of you. You know what I feel? You don't know. But why is that doing? No.
Thought on the issue of the threshold bill that was passed recently, and then a motion of reconsideration was taken by one of our colleagues, which sparked heated debate around here. You know, on the 9th of December 2025, the House of Representatives passed on this bill and sent it to the Senate for concurrence. This bill was crafted following the submission of the 2022 census result, which puts Liberia's population at around 5.2 million plus. And this submission was done to satisfy the constitutional requirements that are enshrined in Articles 80D and 80E. In 80D, it says each constituency shall have an approximately equal population of 20,000 or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe in keeping with population growth, a movement as reviewed by the National Census.
It's Magella Cooper. I'm the Senior Political Advisor to His Excellency Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker.
The example of our President, His Excellency Joseph Boakai. This is why we are here. Let me be on record. This is the national anchor of the Republic of Liberia, that is the nucleus of Liberia. Everything that Liberia needs to reflect on the historicity how Liberia was built, we have it here. But the central government has forgotten it. And we will continue while who will speak. Mercy. And the world will hear us.
Coming from the executive.
I say, I don't know why the president chose to think about football academy right after the exit of the footballing president. President Boakai had never, I don't think he even played in his elementary school. To sit and decide that you're going to play a football academy, something that was being done by President Weah, who is celebrated around the world as who is celebrated in Africa. We think that is a serious challenge. That's a serious challenge. Everyone should watch that, because if this woman go ahead and build a football academy, and when he background in football after the exit of the football president, that clearly speaks to the fact that football was not a priority on Chuya.
Allotted, approved by the legislature. If you spend $10 million on a government project, which institution funded it? It also lends credence to some of the things people have said, that some of the money hitting the budget. For example, they're spending $1 million for Foya Hospital. What's the population of Foya? $1 million for Foya Hospital, but there are more people in Basso. There are more people in Magidi. So how do you allot money? There's a lot more money being spent for Kolahun Hospital. And there is also money being spent for current hospital in Zozo. So this year's budget spending almost $2 million on hospitals in Foya. Are they getting those money, in Lofa, are they getting those money to go back for it and spend on other projects?
American, distinguished colleagues, I want to say good morning to every one of you, and thank God that we're in 2026. This is a very pleasant morning. All we can say, we want to tell God thank you for life. He has given us another breathing space. However, I am reminded of the conversation that was in the chat room yesterday, where the speaker validated that Cecilia Bokun is his biological sister. That leads us to the fact that Richard Kun, at this point in time, you should recuse yourself, that you have committed crime under our marital law, the domestic law of this republic, that incest is a crime. So until we get reasons why you marry your sister, I think you have lost legitimacy to preside as speaker. So it is just the right thing for you to recuse yourself. And one thing, there are a lot of colleagues calling me and say, You're from the fanatic of our blood, they fire. You're not supposed to be commenting. You're not supposed to be talking. This is not a no damn blood thing that we're talking about. We are talking about the credibility, the image of the house that represents every one of us, the legislature as a body. Do you know what happened? That a woman is claiming that she got a marriage divorce certificate from the civil law court. The reputation of our judiciary is placed on a question. Now the executive is also placed on a question. The legislature is placed on a question. And the lives and the status of our Liberian brothers and sisters in the United States of America now being in danger. I mean, this is a grave allegation. I'm hoping that our dear speaker can do the right thing. I'm not talking about removal or Richard Cohen. I'm only saying he should recuse himself because they are also saying the woman fake document and blah, 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 blah. In the state of Delaware, you did marriage, and then now we have credible information. The documents will be available today that, pictorial evidences will be out that you did marry and you exhibited acts of husband and wife. And if those papers are provided today from now to 12 o'clock, I think Richard Cohen will not be speaker anymore.
Well, what is the big news?
The big news in the corridor. Are you people planning to remove the speaker?
But this is not a speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously, it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out?
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so
he's
you don't want
performing.
him out?
No, I don't want. It's not. I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that that speaker have done this, has done this, that required for us to remove it. Obviously, we'll remove it.
So here is my promise to you, not as a politician, but as a Liberian who lost this country with everything I have. CMC will end corruption, not reduce it, not manage it, end it. CMC will create jobs, real jobs, jobs that let you provide for your family with dignity. CMC will build roads, roads that connect our farmers to markets, roads that connect our children to school. CMC will put medicine in hospitals, so no mother ever has to watch her child suffer because some politicians stole the health budget. CMC will unite this nation. No tribe left behind. Competence over connection. One Liberia for all Liberians. But I cannot do this alone. CMC cannot do this alone. This movement, this revolution, it belongs to you. You, the student who dreams of a better future. You, the mother who prays for her children every night. You, the father whose sweat feeds this nation. You, the professional who is embarrassed by what Liberia has become. You, in the diaspora, who left because Liberia failed you, but whose heart never left home. This is your movement. This is your movement. This is your Liberia. So I'm asking you, no, I'm calling you to join us. Join CMC, not because we have all the answers, but because together we are the answer. Sign up, volunteer, donate what you can, share this message to your neighbors. Be the change you have been waiting for. 2026, the year of change. The year we stop waiting. The year we start to build. The year we take back what is ours. Liberia first, citizens empowered for the people, by the people. Happy New Year, my people. The awakening has begun. God bless you and God
have done. That place is for the Guineans. We had an argument today. We were plenty. People from Lofa were there. And people from Lofa know very well that that is in the
I can't stand no more. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me, Mr. Journalist. I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release a day. Although I read the news and on it, is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major story. There is no job, no money for hustle. Keep with our children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. Children have no shelter. Oh, oh, children have no education. Hey, you for hustlers. We got major headlines. Major headlines. We got major stories. Major stories. There is no job.
Good morning or pleasant good evening from Liberia. It's exactly 20 minutes past 10 o'clock here in Liberia, 21 minutes past 10. And in the US is 6:21. We'd like to welcome all of you to the program. And it's a great pleasure to be on, your screen tonight. And we are able to talk about these things that matter the most. So welcome to the round table. My name is William Magella, and we have a lot on our plate tonight. We will take a break with our theme song, and when we get back, we run you through our talking points for tonight. Stay tuned.
Cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me, Mr. Journalist. I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release a day. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now. And I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers.
Welcome back to the program, and it's great that we are here to talk about these things that matter the most about our country, Liberia. And let me say, there's a lot of news across our country, and we will be running through most of these situations. Tonight, we'll basically look at the recent statement from the Ministry of Information and Press briefing today from the Justice Minister Oswald Tue concerning the border conflict between Liberia and that of the Republic of Guinea. We will talk about that. We will also bring you a release coming in from Sierra Leone, acknowledging that their citizens were being deported from Guinea back to Sierra Leone, and there were reports that these people Sierra Leone, and talking about the situation as well. So We will talk about that, and we will also run through with a possible suspension for uh, 30 days. That's 40 sessions suspension for Honorable Yeke Koluba for a claim he made publicly on Spoon FM, saying that the land belongs to Guinea, and there's been report that that statement has also been used by the people of Guinea to be able to, build up their claims that a certain lawmaker is been alleged, right? A certain lawmaker is also claiming and acknowledging the fight. So it's either a possible suspension or what we've gathered per information could be a possible impeachment. But how strong could that be? We will dive into it as well. So let's firstly run you through with this story coming out. I just want to, yeah, we want to come through with the statement from the government of Liberia. And before we get through with the we wanna come through with this statement from um I don't know. Yeah, I wanna have this coming in. Okay, we'll have it. I just wanna read. The internet is, yeah, it's a serious problem for us tonight. I want to bring out so this is the statement from the government, and through the Minister of Justice Oswald Tue, and this is what it says. Okay, I know Minister Tue, Oswald Tue, and exactly what I want to bring out, right? It says, I don't know what the statement can come on. Who knows? Nobody. To bring in this. So let me read why we try to asset. The government of Liberia notes that as consequence of recent development um, along Liberia's border with Guinea, particularly our northern frontier in Solumba, Foya District, Lofa County. There is heartening concern over boundary concerns between Liberia and Guinea. The joint security has been closely monitoring the developing situation. Is it developing? I don't know. A developing situation, and we are here today to provide a clear update on the government's action to safeguard our borders and ensure safety of our citizens. The government wants to inform the Liberian public that it is in full charge of the situation and will continue to address it with the highest degree of maturity and wisdom necessary to protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Our government has determined that a lasting and peaceful solution will be possible through intensive dialogue and multiple diplomatic engagements. These efforts have been directed at the highest level by our president, who continues to exhibit responsible leadership. Wow. We will get to it. Since March this year, the government has dispatched various delegations to the borders, and on March 13, 2026, dispatched a high-level delegation to Conakry to meet with officials of the government of Guinea to discuss the matter and prevent sorry, and prevent future incidents. These advanced engagements culminated into the visit of President Boakai and the President of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Julius Manda Bio, to Conakry, Guinea, to meet and discuss with the President of Guinea, His Excellency Mamadi Doumbouya. The significance of President Barrow flying with President Boakai simply demonstrates the courage and strength necessary to consolidate regional peace and stability. The three leaders held cordial, frank, and fraternal discussions that culminated in signing of a communique. The communique acknowledged the historical ties, common traps, tradition, and culture as good common tribe tradition as well as spirit of friendship, solidarity, good neighborlands, and cooperation that unite the three countries, and the leaders affirmed their commitment to its implementation. The communique reaffirmed the leaders' unwavering commitment to the principles of the inviolability of borders and territorial integrity, but it makes no mention or reference to maps or any such documents. The three leaders in the communique called for the of status quo of peaceful coexistence. Our government has taken additional actions to deploy and reinforce the joint security at our borders to maintain calm and assure a robust presence in the area. Our goal is to is not to esc- is not escalation, but the restoration of confidence and the protection of our people. The government of Liberia calls upon all of its citizens, especially those living along the border, to exercise restraints, mutual respect, and to preserve the historical is a nation of peace, and we will continue on to engage our Guinean brothers and sisters through the spirit of the Mano Revolution, which is expected to convey very soon. The government warns all citizens and residents alike that statements and analysis intended to inflame and undermine our efforts will not be tolerated. And the issue of conflict and threat of escalation are sensitive and must be treated with utmost patriotism. There have been arising numerous commentaries, statements, utterances, claims, allegations, etc., on social media and the print media about the situation at the Liberia-Guinea border. These comments have the dangerous propensity of inciting fear, panic, and chaos within our communities. This could cause unnecessary provocation, and the very positive approach of the government could be jeopardized. Okay. The government calls upon all to desist from making statements that will create instability and escalate the situation. We again reiterate that the national security institutions and agencies are in full control of this situation, and all non-state actors should desist from acting outside constitutional defined framework. While the government reaffirms its commitment to the rule of law, freedom of speech, and the press, and the upholding of our democratic principles, we will not hesitate to take appropriate lawful actions against individuals conducting themselves in a manner inimical to the country and its people. Moreover, we hereby inform you, our citizens, that there are lots of fake AI generated images on the social media. Hence, we admonish you to be aware of them and don't rush or panic when you see them. In these times of the collective survival of our nation, the patriotism and nationalism of our citizens are tested. In nationalism, the peace and stability of our country come first, and our patriotism cannot be compromised. We, your government, will represent you well. We'll do everything to ensure that our peace is not threatened. Great statement by the government, and especially Minister of Justice Oswald Tuet. He was at Mecart, and let me say this right: we all do not tolerate the fact that there will be people who will report fake information because they want the situation to get, you know, to a different level. Is the fact. And having another country entering your territory, raising their flag, not just raising their flag, but having their security personnel assigned at a particular location within another country. That alone is a threat to citizens. We should be guarded and protected by Liberians, states, let's say state securities, not Guinean. And I think the government is being lenient. I'm not saying to say that they are lenient in terms of making sure they goes to war because Guinea has encroached on the Liberian soil. I'm saying to say that when the situation came up, incident, we had the president of Liberia and that of the president of Guinea. They all went to arrest the situation in a sense that they can have a peaceful talk as neighboring countries. Similar situation happened in Sierra Leone, and those guys were arrested. I think over 15 of the soldiers, securities from Guinea were arrested, detained, and later on released to their government. I think Guinea soldiers and the army keep making different reports upon reports, engaging their citizens with information and everything as to how they are going about with the situation. One minute you see that it tells our government, our people, that there's no, you know, conflict between the two nations. They agreed upon this. The next morning, you see the people in the neighboring area that the Guinean soldiers are invading, raising concerns, allegedly raising concerns of these people taking them off their places. And you have government officials of Liberia that are also going to these places and making it look like these things that are being reported by journalists are not verified or checked properly. But deep down, some of these very things being said or reported are truth with proof. We know AI generated pictures from real situation. I think I said to someone the other day, right? And we understand Liberia is on the Security Council of the UN as non-permanent member. We should be able to, maintain peace and peace talk and everything. And someone said this is a test for our country. It's a test, but we also have to show these people that we have the manpower to be able to secure our border. This alone shows how weak our border is to other countries. This alone shows how weak our border is to other countries. It shows how our government should invest more into the military, into the military, so that they can be fully equipped in terms of these kind of situations. We agree our army do have qualified individuals, brave individuals who are ready to protect our nation, who have gone there and serve in our country for the best and good of the people of Liberia. But again, we shouldn't allow our comments be used against us. Let increase the budget of the security forces in our country, mainly the military and other, paramilitaries. Let us now think about ways and encourage people to join the military of our country. We are 5 million people. You have less than, you know, 10,000 individuals who are in the army. This is no joke. The situation is not is seen, but this is not something that is as easy as it's being perceived in the public. It's not. We understand. Basically go out there and create chaos in the situation. But we are say that the government needs to do more. This shows how weak our border is to other people. Very weak. And I think it's about time that we tell these people that yes, we are capable of preserving and reserving our country. We are very capable of doing that. Of course, of course, we can reserve and preserve our country. And this alone shows it's not just it's not easy. Anyways, it's not easy. But we're getting there. Gradually we will get there. And kudos to the government. This is what exactly we want. But again, it shows that Guinean are not ready to head toward the communique that was being signed by the three nations, Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and we can be able to do something different. with the situation. So the next situation I want to speak about is mainly about still in the Guinea and Liberia situation. Is also this. Let me just put this on the screen and you know what I'm talking about. Really, okay. This is exactly what is happening. Some citizens of Sierra Leone, some citizens of Sierra Leone being deported. It sounds funny, you know. We are all West African. We should have the free flow of movement in Africa, in West Africa, because we bear one passport. We are all Africans. So there's been report that Sierra Leoneans been deported from Guinea today, and this is it. Hundreds of people are stranded along, the West African border after a sudden mass deportation. More than 500 nationals of Sierra Leone have been expelled from neighboring Guinea and are now gathered at the Pan Lap border crossing, waiting for clearance to return home. The situation was first reported by Sierra Lode, a permanent local news outlet there in Sierra Leone. The deportation comes just days after a high-level meeting between Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia, where officials pledged to ease tensions and improve cooperations across the Mano River region. Despite that agreement, authorities have yet to publicly explain what prompted this latest action. Witnesses described uh, a coordinated operation by Guinean security forces who reported a round of Sierra Leonean nationals from multiple communities. Some officials allegedly claimed those were detained were contributing to disorder in urban areas, while others were labeled as unemployed or with unclear purpose. The crackdown has sparked panic among families who report that women, children, and elderly individuals were among those forcibly removed. Okay, that is it. You know, so like I said, right across West Africa, we should be able to move freely in our own area. I'll bring more of these footages, right? And we are to move freely, and this is something serious that we should all take into consideration. Very, very serious. These are the people being deported from Guinea, and I tell you for free, right? Exactly. We all know how the current president of Guinea came into power. You cannot intimidate and harass African people who are neighbors. Neighboring countries will have to collaborate to be able to, have some level of fairness, business, and movement between them. And let me read the statement from the government of Sierra Leone per this report so that you can know that we didn't came out here to just made up any story. You know, let me read this, right? Let me read this quickly. It says, let's go there. So the Guinea thing, Sierra Leone. Okay, it says government of Sierra Leone, Ministry of Information and Civic Education. Press release is dated 24 March 2026. Update on returning Sierra Leoneans from Guinea. The government of Sierra Leone has been informed by the Guinean authorities of ongoing operations involving the clearing of informal settlements and the identification and return of undocumented foreign residents. As part of these operations, an exercise was conducted on 23 March 2026 in the Bodo-Bennett port area of Conakry, where Sierra Leoneans were among those affected, including individuals without valid documentation. Sierra Leoneans without valid documentation were released, while those without valid status were scheduled for return to Sierra Leone. The government of Sierra Leone, through its embassy in Conakry, has engaged the Guinean authorities to ensure the process is handled in an orderly and humane manner, with full respect for the rights and dignity of our citizens. The return process is being jointly managed by officials of both countries at the border. Sierra Leonean authorities are receiving, screening, and documenting returnees and facilitating their safe and dignified repatriation to their respective communities. As of 24 March 2026, a total of 942 Sierra Leoneans, including adults and children, have been received at the Gambia border, with onward arrangements in progress. Government will continue to monitor the situation and maintain diplomatic engagement with the government of Guinea to ensure due process and continue protection of Sierra Leone national. The public is encouraged to remain calm and rely on verified information from official government channels. And so you read that for yourself. This is another one, you know, the chief is going to taking these people off 942 persons from Guinea. So when these people leave, will your people still have job? Like you said, unemployment. They are not documented in your country. That's one. Secondly, this is also a great move. Why I would say this, we hope that similar thing could be done in our beloved Liberia. Why I say this is that um, you basically will not get this happening easily here. Hmm? And let's be real, in as much as we facilitate free movement, sorry, I had a drink, free movement for our people in West Africa, you should also be legally moving in that country. If you have to travel to Europe or America or Asia, you have all of your rightful documentations because you don't want to be deported. And mind you, deportation could cause you not returning again anytime soon at that place. So I think if these people truly are what the release says they are. Not having proper document and identification and what have you. I think similar thing should be done across Africa. Let people who are in other countries in Africa working and making their ends meet, while the citizens of that country do not have a job, be sent back if they are not properly documented or cannot be, identified properly. I say if and if only they cannot be identified properly with the rightful documents, they needs to be sent back home. Go back home. That's your place of birth. We are all African, we agree. But this country of X is your place of birth. So that's a great move as well. In as much as, you know, I say what I say, but again, it's something that is going to change the narrative and the perception of we African, that yes, I can go to Guinea at any point. If even I don't have the right documents, I will have to enjoy my free stay in Guinea. No, that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be. Definitely, it shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't sum up to these kind of situations. We shouldn't. Of course. So let's quickly run up and let me play this clip again for you.
My information from my survey that I have done, that place is for the Guineans. Remember what I'm saying today. Mark this and remember it. We had an argument today. We were plenty. People from Lofa were there. And people from Lofa know very well that that place, when you look at the map, that place is in the yellow. That particular place the Guinea are is in the yellow. People from Lofa are aware. The people doing money. Mr. Boaka is doing money on the people water. And that was probably the problem. The first time the people sees the machine, they went and talked to the people gave them the machines. And they brought it. And the people know very, very well that that place is not for Liberia from my survey, from people I sat with, from Lofa County, senior officials. They know it very well. When you look at the map, that particular portion of that place is in yellow. It's not in the place from my information. I may not be right. But in those days to come, keep this recording.
Keep this recording. Okay. So that's controversial opposition representative. He said what he said, right?
Went over there.
Let me say this. Let me take care of this thing. Let me say this, right? You as a sitting lawmaker, why will you make such a statement? Why should you, as a sitting lawmaker, make such a statement? And when I called him earlier this morning, I won't play that because we don't have much time. He earlier on denied, but later agreed, right? So you as a lawmaker, why will you say such a thing? Why? If you look at the map, the place in the yellow, I play for Lova, I play for, yeah, why? You should be defending our country. Didn't the lawmaker think that that alone can incite conflict? Yes. You know how things travel on social media? Do you know where the algorithm take a video being posted? You don't know. They just blow up and blow up and blow up. You don't know who watch it. You just see where they watch from if you knows how to see that. But again, what I would say is that we have to be mindful with this situation, right? Liberia cannot go back to any form of conflict anytime soon. But it's just about how we perceive the information and go about, releasing them to the public, and how we will be able to gently handle this situation. I know some people say, the government is weak, the government should retaliate, and what have you. Some people say, oh, it's some government officials that allege they carry on money activities and send deacon. Some people allege that because of the presidential palace in Lofa that was being built, they also used that place to do same money and build this area. We do not have proof to all of that, so we cannot speak to that. But again, I'll say, Honorable Yeke Koluba, please be mindful as to how you go about, you know, doing what you do best. This is about a country that have children that are building their career. This is a country that have potential young people that are not ready to go back into war. We see a whole lot of different groupings making statements. Fine, freedom of speech. You're a citizen. But you should just understand the fact that the situation we are in right now in Foya, we are praying that nothing should escalate into something different, into a conflict. Yeah, into a conflict. So, Honorable Yeke Koluba, for that statement, we've gathered that he's going to he's might, uh, unconfirmed report says that he's might he might you know get suspended for 40 session, which would be like 3 months. I guess so, or probably an impeachment against him for his statement. Statement is said to be traced into the state. But again, let's see how it goes. And also, before I leave, I want to send this as a message to the police, Gregory Como, and every other person that the government of Liberia, uh, Sam Jassy, who was a person of interest, now a suspect in the case involving the death of Tony Jackson. Sorry. So we still want to get further details about that. It shouldn't end up like some other drug cases we know about in the past, or some other cases aside from being drugs we know about in the past. So until then, I'd like to appreciate all of you for coming on the show tonight and following the round table. My name is William Miguel, and it's a great pleasure to be on here. The show is not coming as usual, as regular as it was, because we're in a transitional period, and we assure you that as soon as things is really okay after the transitional period, you will have the show back to its best. So thank you for coming on tonight, and thanks for being there with all of what we have talked about. Until next, until this Thursday, my name is William McGill, and thanks to all of you for coming on. Have a great night. Bye bye.
I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me, Mr. Journalist. I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now. And I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major story. Yeah, there is no job, no job.